In this video we're talking about progressive overload and what it actually means. There's a lot of personal trainers out there that like to throw around fancy terms that people don't understand. Like Betty, who's 70 years old, who's just been told that she needs a personal trainer to do some resistance training because she's suffering from osteoporosis. Like Betty needs to know the technical terms and the ins and outs. And I've always been of the opinion that if you can't describe to somebody or articulate to somebody what something actually means in layman's terms, then I don't believe that you fully understand it yourself. So with that in mind, here's my take on progressive overload. Progressive overload basically means that we're going to increase the demand on our body over a period of time in order to make gains in muscle size, in muscle strength and endurance. Basically, if you went to the gym and you did the same thing week in, week out, you would become more efficient at doing that particular workout. Your body in the beginning, yes, it probably would change and you'd probably see some results, but eventually it's going to become stronger and it's not going to need the muscle that it's got in order to keep lifting the same weight. You could actually end up losing muscle unless you progress the weight further along. So there's a few ways that you can progressively overload the body, and a great example of this and a little term you can use is the FIT principle with 2 T's. So it stands for frequency, intensity, time and type. Okay, so you can increase the frequency at which you train the muscle. You can train the muscle more times in the week. You can increase the intensity, which means you can increase the actual weight that you're trying to lift, which is probably the simplest way of explaining progressive overload. You can increase the time, which means increasing the time under tension, which also equates to reps. If you've heard reps before, repetitions, sets and reps. So, you might do 12 reps, you might increase to 15 reps. Or you could even increase the speed of the reps. So you could slow down the repetitions and increase the time under tension of your muscle. And the type, meaning that you can change the exercise selection. So you might have done a flat bench press for your chest for 6 weeks, but eventually you've plateaued out on that. You could change it to an incline bench press for a little while. It's basically a fancy way of saying we need to do more. Probably a good idea to get good at a certain exercise before trying to progress it. Some of the biggest mistakes I've seen in the gym where people aren't actually good at doing the actual lifts. So take deadlift, for example. They deadlift with very poor form and they're very quick to increase the weight, and this results in injuries. So get good at the exercise first before you look to progressively overload that exercise. If you found this video useful, now you can have the progressive overload discussion with your personal trainer. If you found this useful, hit the like button, give me a subscribe. There'll be plenty more videos like this to follow. And thanks for watching.